Okay, and since someone lovely emailed me and asked me, I'm going to do a video for question 4 as well. So this is a lovely binomial expansion question. Part 1, it's the first 3 terms of this expansion. So I think the thing just to watch out for is that you're super careful with all your brackets and all your powers when you do this. So the first 3 terms are going to have 6C0, 6C1 and 6C2. Then we're going to have 2x as one term and negative x squared as the other term. I'm going to go back in a moment and put the powers on. But see how I'm using brackets around each term? 2x and negative x squared. Okay. And then we'll go back through and do our powers. We're going to use the formula off the formula sheet so that we don't muck it up. We don't need to memorise it. It's on the formula sheet. So it's going to go like this. So it's going to be a 6, then a 0, then a 5, then a 1, then a 4, then a 2. Okay. And we need to be careful when we start expanding out these brackets that we make sure that everything that's inside the bracket has the power applied to it. Okay. So 6C0 is just 1. 2x to the power of a 6 is 2 to the power of a 6 and x to the power of 6. Okay, so 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 6 is 64, and then x to the power of 6 over x to the power of 6, and negative x squared to the power of 0 is just 1. So that's our first term, but we haven't tied it up yet, but we'll just leave it there for now. 6C1 is 6, okay, and then the next part is 2x to the power of 5. So what's 2 to the power of 5? Is 32. Is 32. Oh. That's 32. And then x to the power of 5. Right, negative x squared to the power of 1. We've got to do everything inside the bracket to the power of 1. So negative 1 to the power of 1 is negative, and x squared to the power of 1 is x squared. So that comes out to be times negative x squared. And we'll tidy all that up in a second. And then the last term is 6C2, which is 15. I'm going to run out of space again. Okay, so 2x to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4 is 16, so that's times 16, and x to the power of 4. And negative 2x to the power of 2 is going to be negative 1 to the power of 2, which is 1, and x squared to the power of 2, which is x to the power of 4. So that's going to be times x to the power of 4. Okay, so when we tidy all that up, we're going to get 64x squared, x to the power of 6, minus whatever 6 times 32 is, 192, minus 192, x to the power of 7, plus whatever 15 times 16 is, 15 times 16 is 240, x to the power of 8. So that's the first 3 terms. Okay, so for part 2, it uses that word hence, okay? And that word hence is a big clue for you that you're supposed to use something from your first part to help you out with the second part, okay? So let's write out what they want us to do. So they want us to do this expansion here, 2 plus x, and 2x minus x squared to the power of 6. Okay, so we're after the coefficient of x to the power of 8. Now we already know that when we expand out this part of it here, that we're going to get those first 3 terms there. Okay, so what you're going to remind yourself is, if we had something way, way more simpler, let's say it was 2 plus x times x plus 1, and I said to you, what is the coefficient of x squared? You wouldn't have to expand every single term to find out what the coefficient of x squared is. You would just do that one times that one there and know that the x squared coefficient was just 1. Okay? So what you've got to do here is imagine that 2 plus x there, and in this bracket here we only need to worry about the stuff that's going to multiply with either the 2 or the x to make x to the power of 8. So the only 2 things that's going to be is negative 192 x to the power, negative 192 x to the power of 7, and the 240x to the power of 8. And in fact, all we have to worry about is the x times that and the 2 times that, because that's the only ways we're going to get x to the power of an 8. Okay, so x times minus 192x to the power of 7 is negative 192x to the power of 8. And 2 times 240x is 480x to the power of 8. So when we add those together to combine those like terms, we're going to get 288 as the coefficient. Okay, you can write x to the power 8 if you wanted to, but you can just write 288 as your answer.